I'm tracing the shadows in a velvet room, scent of vanilla and the ghost of a bloom. One little match flickering against the gray, watching the color of the night slip away. I got a habit of striking the spark, just to see the geometry of the dark. I used to think the heat was a holy thing, before I felt the bite and the bitter sting. I was a master of the beautiful mess, turning every no into a jagged yes. I mistook the fever for a steady light. Now I'm just a shadow in the middle of the night. Oh, I'm the match in the furnace and the suit on the wall. I'm the one who didn't catch you when I started the fall. I've been dancing in the embers of a beautiful lie. Now I'm just a spark under a suit black sky. I burn the floorboards just to feel the floor. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of an open door. Yeah, I'm the fire and the fever and the ash in the hall. The frames are all cracked and the silence is deep. 1,000 promises I couldn't keep. You were the water in a thirsty land, trying to smooth the edges of my jagged hand. I was a hurricane looking for a home, turning the garden into dust and bone. Now the desk is empty and the tea is cold, and I'm holding on to stories that'll never be told. I was a master of the beautiful mess, turning every no into a jagged yes. I mistook the fever for a steady light. Now I'm just a shadow in the middle of the night. They say the only way to shine is to burn, but I'm running out of lessons I can't ever unlearn. The furnace is empty and the air is thin. I'm looking for a place where the rain gets in, to wash away the carbon, to quiet the flame, to find a version of me that doesn't know my name. Oh, I'm the match and the furnace and the suit on the wall. I'm the one who didn't catch you when I started the fall. I've been dancing in the embers of a beautiful lie. Now I'm just a spark under a suit black sky. I burn the floorboards just to feel the floor. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of an open door. Yeah, I'm the fire and the fever and the ash in the hall. Strike the last one, watch it turn to gray. There's no one left to lead the way, just the smell of smoke and the vanilla on the breeze. I'm down on my knees in the ashes, in the quiet. Good night. If God is breathing through a filter of rust, I'm tracing the shadows and I'm sifting the dust, watching the couples in the neon blue light, Looking for the fracture, looking for the fight. I've got a surgeon's hands and a cold silver eye, counting the ways that a promise can die. I'm not looking for the beauty or the gold in the grain. I'm just harvesting the winter and the salt of the rain. It's a clinical hunger, it's a parasitic grace, to find the exact hollow in a beautiful face. I'm extracting the spirit just to fill up the void, building a monument from the things I've destroyed. Until you were empty and your fire went out. Now I'm the king of the silence and the doubt. Yeah, it's a clinical hunger, a parasitic grace, to see the reflection of my own haunted face. I'm extracting the spirit just to fill up the void, living in architecture of the things I've destroyed. And the metal is cold, and I'm the only secret that's left to be told. Inventory is finished, the ledger is red. I'm standing in the space of the things that I said. Good night, Helena. The spectacle is through. There's nothing left to take from you. Just a stain, just a blade. I'm staying in the dark that I gears rattle under a sky of slate. I'm sitting in the office where the shadows wait, writing out the elegies for a city made of rust, turning every heartbeat into polished dust. I used to watch the stars fall and reach for the pen to package up the tragedy and sell it back again. I made a living off the shiver in your spine, trading your exhaustion for a clever little line. But the market is closing and the lights are turning low. I'm holding on to secrets that I've got no place to show. The ink is running cold and the paper's turning white. I'm just an empty mirror in the middle of the night. Oh, I was merchant of the wound and the scar, sailing off the light of every falling star. I turned the real mercy into a silver light, watching all the beauty leave the echo-guard sky. Now the shelves are empty and the inventory's through. I got 1,000 words, but not a single one for you, yeah. I'm the mercenary of the fall. You felt the world's gravity in the marrow of your bone, while I was busy building up a kingdom on a throne. I use your real sorrow just to lubricate the gears, a professional collector of someone else's tears. But you weren't a metaphor, you weren't a ghost in a play.